Good morning and welcome to day 3 of Wellbeing Week. Today is Wisdom Wednesdays. So the main focus is food versus mood. So first of all, I'd like to say that this is not a shaming video talking about why we shouldn't eat chocolate and cake, because I love chocolate and cake and I eat chocolate and cake, and that's not what we're going to focus on today. In my description, I have linked my blog, which kind of has a bit more of an in-depth thing with kind of the control and cravings of food and our emotions surrounding them. But actually today is also about acknowledging the good foods. Not so much shaming the bad ones that we already know about, because everyone knows food's bad for us, but we love it and we enjoy it, and that's okay. That's a part of life. That's fine. But this is actually just acknowledging like the nutrients and vitamins that we can get in our food, the good food, and actually not that it just affects us physically, but mentally as well. So I also want to say, and it's mentioned in my blog, but if the blog isn't really for you, or you don't really want to read or whatever, it's up to you, it's not a problem. So I'll mention like a little extract from it. So the way that we eat and the way that we relate emotion to food is just not our fault. Now bear with me, because I know we all think that we have control over what we put in our bodies, and to some extent, some very small extent we do. But our brains are also hardwired to relate emotions to food. So for example, if you are hormonal, eat chocolate. If you have a broken heart, eat a tub of ice cream. If, like for celebrations for your birthday cake, sweets, chocolate, Halloween, you can eat a whole bin liner of sweets in about half hour, and that's okay. And Christmas, you have a whole month to indulge on all these treats and stuff, and we've had this since we were very young. Even for discipline, even for bad things, it was treated as a reward, or no pudding if you're naughty. That it's this constant thing that we've had. So it's hard to diet and follow these strict regimes, because there's other parts of our subconscious brain that are battling with that and that use food for comfort. So as well as kind of getting the right food in us, it's kind of acknowledging that it's okay to give in to bad things too, and not to hold that guilt and stress inside of us. So as for the feelings of food, we all know that if we have Domino's, cookies, sides, chips, Coke, everything else, all mixed in together, feels absolutely amazing when we're eating it, but then you feel sluggish and you feel a bit slow. So it's just about being aware of what food does to us, not just physically. The physical body, fine, if you eat well you can get a better body, but that's not what it's about today. This is about mentally, like what food does for you mentally. And also that realization that unlike in our ancestor, like kind of caveman time, when we used to eat for survival, we now do eat to numb emotions. And this is like commonly known as like comfort eating or emotional eating. And this is something that we all do. Whether it is to just have, as a reward for, or whatever it is, we relate a lot of our emotion to food. And that's okay too, as long as you're aware of it. As long as you're aware of that factor, because otherwise you'll feel like you're you're fighting a losing battle. You are constantly trying all these diets, constantly trying all this, and then wondering why you're failing. And sometimes it's just something as simple as not being aware of the emotions before and after eating. So that's one of the main things. The blog that I wrote had more in-depth information. So if you are interested in anything I'm saying right now and want kind of a little bit more of an insight, and don't worry, it is not like some self-absorbed diary entry. It's got some tips and some information and a little bit of humour. So feel free to read if you want to, and if not, then just have a great Wisdom Wednesday and just be aware of what your body and mind need. Cool. Have a great day.